Yonatan Yamut, Asher Asa,
We did that already too. Okay, hello. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Herb.
Good morning.
Hello, Reb Michal. Okay.
Morning, Rabbi.
Good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning, Brazil.
No, this is Stephanie. You sound a lot better, Stephanie. Hope you are. And there's Natalie from Brazil. Okay. So let's put it up. So we're 55B, and we're up to the words. So we're up to avoiding evil eyes, and
we're already in the
up to the wide lines.
The wide lines. Already?
Yes, Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina, Omar Meihacha. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina says from here. 1 second, let me find it. So it's 55B, and let me see if I can find it.
Oh,
the wide lines.
The wide lines. Already?
Yes, Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina, Omar Meihacha. Rabbi Yossi Rabbi Chanina says from here. I just have to.
How come I hear your voice without you speaking?
Because of the YouTube. Okay. Okay, let us find the place.
YouTube.
Michal found it before me. Good. Okay, I'm going to put it up, share screen. Yeah. No, we're beyond that too. Okay, good. Well, up to the words. Mehacha, how do we know that Yosef's children did not suffer from the evil eye? The descendants of Yosef did not suffer from the evil eye. So he explains here.
Mizera de Yosef Katina.
All the way down here.
Ben Porat, Yosef Ben Porat, Alayayin.
Yeah, Yid Gularov. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Chanina, Rabbi Yossi, the son of Rabbi Chanina says, Mehacha from here, from the statement, the Yid Gularov, Mikaravaretz, that they shall multiply like fishes in the midst of the land. So what does that mean? Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. So it says that they shall be multiplied like fish within the land where it's blue. What do I find regarding the fishes in the sea? The water covers them, therefore the evil eye does not have no dominion over them, which is why they are so prolific. Yosef. So the seed of Yosef, no evil eye has no power over them.
Yeah, but of course it raises a question: who all of a sudden says just because they're underwater the evil eye doesn't touch?
Because the evil eye is when you see something and you're jealous. If you can't see it, you can't have an evil eye. If you feel that you're giving someone the evil eye, that you're jealous, let him look at the side of his left nostril. If you're worried about giving an evil eye, just look down till you can see the side of your left nostril like this.
I can't.
You could just have to roll your eyes. So what does this mean, Taka? What Taka does all this mean?
Yeah. Patach idach. V'amar haima dechale yama.
There's a commentary. We have a commentary here.
So one to find the connections between the notes and where we are. It's impossible.
Okay, so I have not found an explanation. Okay, we'll just have to accept it. Pasach idach v'yomer. So these three guys were all learning, these three great rabbis, and they all wanted to say something new. So Pasach idach v'yomer, another one opened up and said, he began by saying, Hayman de Cholish, someone who was sick, Yoma Kamala Lugali, don't reveal it on the first day. That his mazel shouldn't be weakened. From there on, you can reveal. Why the first year, the first day? Because because if it passes, that's good mazel. After the first day, if he doesn't have good mazel, anyways, he can reveal it.
Lo megali.
Right, but after the first day, Megala, you can reveal it. Kihada Rava, like the story with Rava, Kihava Cholish, when he was ill, Yoma Kama, the first day, Lo Megale. He did not reveal that he was ill, right? From there on in, he revealed it. He said, now, the Marsha says that when you first get sick, don't say I'm sick, because it says Al tiftach pel satan. Don't open your mouth to bad things. Think good will be good. Think positive. So the first day you're sick, think I'm going to get better right away. Don't, by the way, there was a great campaign in the 1970s in Israel because the religious community, unfortunately, smoking was rampant. So there was this poster from like 1973 because it was in our shul in Maine. Al tiftach pel sartan. There's a picture of someone smoking a cigarette. Don't open your mouth to cancer. Yeah, that was very clever. Anti-smoking.
Yeah.
Right. So Rava Chalesh. So what happened was, like Rava, when he was sick, the first day he wouldn't reveal. From then on, he said to his Shammai, to his servant, Puk Achres, go out and announce, Rava Chalash, Rava is sick. Manda Rochamli, someone who loves me, the boy Rachli will pray for me. Umanda Soneli, and those who hate me, Lachdeli will rejoice. And if they rejoice that I'm sick, that's good. Uksiv, it's written in Mishlei, ben Fole Vechal Tismach, when your enemy falls, do not rejoice. Uvakoshla Yogali Becha, and when he stumbles, don't be happy. Lest Hashem see it'll be bad in Hashem's eyes, and will turn his anger away from him. So he says, look, those who love me, they'll daven for me. Those congregants who don't like me, they'll be happy, and that's good for me too. Because if people are happy at misfortune, God takes away your misfortune. But at any rate, the first day that he was sick, before the sickness got strong, we're going to think positive. We're not going to think that we're going to get sick. And that's that. Marsha explains that's the idea, the positive thinking.
Positive thinking.
Right. We shouldn't be pessimists. Now we're going to go back to dreams. And Shmuel is a friend of Yosel. Shmuel, the famous sage Shmuel, the first generation of the sages of the Babylonian Talmud, when he would see a bad dream, Omar, he would say, dreams speak false and empty words.
Exactly.
When he saw a good dream, he would say, do dreams then speak falsely? Is it not written in Bamidbar when Hashem speaks to Aaron and Miriam, I speak to him with a dream? Right?
Mm-hmm.
No. So the dreams are real. So Shmuel because dreams, as we'll see in a moment, dreams follow their interpretation. So if it's a good, bad dream, you say they're baloney. If it's a good dream, you say, I believe in it.
Exactly. So you can't lose.
It's about your attitude.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Rabbi, sometimes the because it's written that I speak with him in a dream. But sometimes the dream is just the fulfillment of a desire. Yeah. So that's why we cannot follow it completely, because it's just desire, a fulfillment
Well,
of.
that's why we say, so you should know, you're right, Natalie, and I'll point out the word is shav, is empty. Shav doesn't mean false, it means empty. But the point is that if I see a good dream, so basically I say that Hashem speaks in a dream, I'm asking Hashem to fulfill the good dream. Right? So I have a dream that you know.
In other words, you can always put a good spin on it.
Right, but the spin is important because that's basically I turn to Hashem. In other words, what is a dream? Let me explain a little bit further.
Okay.
Let's think about this a little bit. One of the many aspects of a dream, and again, this is very complex. One of the many aspects of a dream is it reveals things that you're thinking about, but you don't let out. Your subconscious, right? So let's say there's something good that you weren't thinking about, right? In your subconscious, you want a good thing, but you never thought of it, right? It never occurred to you. So when you have a dream and this good thing appears that you never thought of, you say, oh, Hashem speaks through a dream. Hashem, that's a great idea. I pray that you make it happen. In other words, sometimes, what does it mean dreams follow the interpretation? That we ask Hashem to make something true. So if you see a good thing that was buried in your subconscious that you thought you couldn't hope for, right? And you know, and then it comes in your dream. You say, "Oh, that's a great idea, Hashem. I pray that you make it happen." And I believe that is what Shmuel is doing here. It doesn't say any commentaries, but that's what I think is going on over here. Something you didn't hope to think of comes up in a dream, so you take the opportunity to turn to Hashem. Hashem, maybe you're speaking to me. Maybe you make this happen, as if in a prayer.
Let me ask this question: Why would God speak to us in a dream? Why not directly?
Because so you need to know the context of that statement. Miriam and Aaron spoke against Moses, that Moses had neglected his family and was completely connected to God. So they say God speaks to us too. So God appears to them and criticizes them, particularly Miriam, who gets Sarat for a while, and says, all other prophets I speak to in a dream. Only Moses do I speak directly. Why? Because only Moses was created in such a way that he could handle God's direct word. All other prophets, they have to be in a state of unconsciousness and see things as a distant dream. Because if God would reveal himself to them fully, he'd blow their circuits and they die, like happened to Nadav and Avihu. It's too much for anyone but Moses to handle a direct revelation from God. And that's why it has to be in a dream.
It's only in a voice. It's not panim el panim.
Exactly. Precisely.
Panai lo tireh.
Exactly. But even there, it's more direct than anyone else. So at any rate, and certainly ordinary people are not relevant to prophets. But now Rava is going to challenge Shmuel. Rava raised a contradiction. Rava raises Shmuel's dichotomy. Rava says it's a problem. It's written. I need a drink. 1 second. Get it some water.
Wasser.
Yeah, my voice is still not back to where it should be. 1 minute. Oh, yeah.
Falling asleep.
Hello.
Hey, Natalie.
Dzień
Everybody else. How is
dobry,
it?
Haver.
I'm sitting
This is Yossel.
The camera doesn't see me.
No, I don't have a 360-degree camera. Okay. But that's our Yosel. Okay. L'chaim.
He was ruling here. He was taking over.
Okay. So Rava raised a contradiction. Ksiv, it's written B'chalom adaber bo. I speak to him with a dream. Uksiv, and it's written V'chalomos hashav yadaber. Dreams speak falsely. In other words, Hashem says, I speak to a prophet through a dream. On the other hand, it says the dreams speak falsely. In other words, that a dream can seem to be a prophetic dream, but really it's false. Lo kasha, there's no contradiction. Kaniya de malach, through a divine angel, where Hashem, as Maimonides explains, that Hashem speaks to prophets through the medium of an angel, which, as we explained, is a being that steps down and filters Hashem's power. So that is true. That's prophecy, Kanye de shade. But through a demon, then it speaks false. In other words, someone can have a dream that seems to be a prophetic dream, but really it's a baloney dream. And that's because it comes by a shade. And that's only talking about dreams that seem to be prophetic, but are not, as opposed to ordinary dreams.
Something you thought of during the day shows up at night.
Right, but that's not these. Shade is a false dream that is shown to you through a. So the question is, what is a shade? What is a demon? So if you remember, we met demons earlier in the tractate, and we explained that those spiritual forces that don't necessarily come from a good place. In other words, they're negative spiritual forces, because just like there are positive spiritual forces, there are negative ones too. And that's what it says, this Irim Yiraktusham, and the demons dance there. In other words, there are spiritual forces that drive us to do wrong and that have certain power. Now, Maimonides doesn't believe in demons. He doesn't, but the Gemara talks about them extensively. It's a matter of great debate. So they're clearly some kind of spiritual being or some kind of spiritual force that provides bad spirituality, because you see that sometimes those who speak idolatrous or bad ideas have a strong hold over people. They have a strong sense of spirituality. They seem to be very holy, but they're not, because just like there's good spirituality, according to the Kabbalah, just like there's good spirituality, there's bad spirituality. And Hashem gives these entities the ability to mislead us. It's their job to mislead us. Now, I will tell you, though, that there is I don't know if, do you remember Moshe Pinchover? He married a doctor from West Hartford. Yeah, he was up here for a while. He was in the jewelry business. Then he went down to West Hartford. Oh, he's in Worcester. So anyways, so he has a relative who's a Rosh Yeshiva in one of the Mamlachti Dati, one of the religious Zionist yeshivot. And he went through everything it says in the Gemara about Shadim, that they like lukewarm water, that they live in ruins, that sometimes they're small, you can't see them.
In Bet Kvarot.
Right. So he came to around dead things. So he came to the conclusion that if you look at all the ways that Shadim harm people, he says they're bacteria or viruses. They're small, they're dangerous, they proliferate in warm water and in destroyed
In the
things.
20th century,
So he says that could be they're microbes that cause all kinds of damage. And we know from COVID-19 how much damage one little microbe can cause. It's not even a microbe, it's a virus. So that's his approach.
That's what he said. It's not from a virus. It's not from mitzvahs. It's from a virus.
Very funny. Okay. Right. So be that as it may, this is one approach. And the question of shadim of spiritual beings that have power to mislead people is this idea the same way we have an evil inclination. The evil inclination that drives us to do wrong things is not independent of God. Hashem gave it a job. It's a paid employee. Its job is to mislead us, and we have to resist it. So a little bit the same thing with this idea of shadim. Indeed, you should know that the Zohar calls the Yetzer Hara a shade. It calls it a demon because it's a spiritual force that drives us in the wrong direction. So these are all possibilities.
What does it say in Shulchan Aruch right in the beginning, the first sentence?
What?
When a person gets up in the morning,
Right, he should strengthen himself like a lion and not listen to the evil inclination
exactly.
that wants him to stay in bed. Now we're going to learn how dreams follow their interpretations. Omer Rabbi Bizna Bar Zavda said in the name of Rabbi Akiva, who said in the name of Rabbi Panda, the same of, in the name of Rav Nachum, in the name of Rabbi Rim, Meshum Zokinach, in the name of one of the elders, which means one of the men of the great assembly. So going back through the whole period of the Mishnah, all the way back to the 4th century BCE, Umanu, and who was that elder, Rabbi Banoah, who's one of the very early sages, perhaps one of the men of the Great Assembly, that Esrim va'arba postre chalomos hayu b'Yerushalayim. There were 24 interpreters of dreams in Jerusalem.
People.
Right, yeah, people who interpreted. That was the job. They were dream interpreters. They were Freudians.
They used to write letters, and for those that couldn't write.
Right, but they were dream interpreters. I had a dream. I went to all of them.
Exactly.
Well, one interpreted for me, the other did not interpret for me. For Kulam Niskaimubi, all the interpretations were fulfilled. And this is fulfilled, the verse that it says that in Mashinemar, and it's not a pasuk, it's a human saying. That all dreams follow the mouth of the interpreter. So why? Because if we tell you something, you begin to believe it's possible. So, and sometimes either you pray for it or you make it happen, right? So if you dreamed that you had a tomato plant growing in your garden, maybe that'll drive you to plant the tomato plant and to ask Hashem that He make it grow, because we all know when we plant things, they don't always grow the way we want one to.
Yeah.
And conversely, sometimes you don't plant anything and it grows anyways. Like we have a compost heap in the back, and over Pesach, we threw a lot of squash seeds into it. And then the next fall, come Tishrei, we had squashes growing. But then the squirrels ate them all up, which is fine. I'm sure they were hungry.
Somebody got something good out of it.
Yeah, we have lots of squirrels. Ask the Gemara, is it really true that all dreams follow the interpreter? That's not so simple. Crow, is it a verse in? I'm like Rabbi Lazar. Rabbi Lazar said, how do we know all dreams follow the mouth of the interpreter? Shenamar, as it says, he with the butler and the baker, when as he told it to us, so it came. In other words, why did the butler live and the baker die? Because Yosef interpreted the dream that way. Omarava, it only works if you interpret it like the dream, as it says, each person according to the dream they interpret it. So according to this, if you interpret according to the dream, whatever interpretation you give and the person believes, that's what happens. But as we'll see Thursday, it's not so simple because we're not learning tomorrow. We'll see Thursday, it's not so simple. But of course, nothing is
Thursday, we're
simple.
going to learn.
So take care, everyone. Yeah, we're doing Chumash today. You got the email. We're doing the Parsha today because we didn't do it
What
yesterday.
time is that? Zoom?
Zoom 11:30 to 12:30. Yeah,
11:30 to 12.
yeah. Hopefully my voice will hold out. Okay, everyone.